All right, my friends, welcome back to another episode. Hello, Dr. Yanina, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good to have you once again. It's been a while.
Thank you for inviting me. It's always good to be here.
Of course. We got to do this more often now since we are recording this in our own home, right?
It cannot be more difficult, right?
Exactly. We need to just put the chairs together, put the camera on, and move on. So today we're going to talk about confidence because that's actually one of your favorite topics as a psychologist, mindset, wellness expert. My name is Sergio Gomez. I'm an artist, curator, gallery owner, author, and co-founder of the Art Next Level program. And my goal with this channel is to make marketing and art business easy so that you can grow your art career, find new opportunities, sell more art, and spend more time creating in the studio. So if you like that, make sure you click on the subscribe button and click on the little bell so that you receive notifications of our future videos. You've been helping us out a lot as artists here inside the Art Next Level program, through our coaching program, through the content that we create, through the book that we wrote together, the Crush Self-Sabotage and Live Fully. We devote an entire chapter, I think it's chapter 6.
Correct,
talking about confidence. And last episode that I put on here on YouTube and through the podcast, I talk about having confidence in your art business, how important that is for you as an artist to look at your art business. Like, are you confident about your website? Are you confident about your prices? Are you confident about speaking to collectors? So those are kind of aspects of the art business. And today I want to talk to you a little bit more about the importance of self-confidence for us as artists. Not necessarily in our business, but in all aspects of feeling that confidence. That when you walk in a room, you feel confident about it, right? And so we're excited to talk about that.
Yeah, and I wanted to break down the self-confidence terminology because, see, what happens is that people have this tendency to think that, those who are feeling confident, they have it all together. They know what they're doing. They know that they feel good about themselves, and they're perfect. They don't go through what I go through. They don't understand because they have it all together. But self-confidence doesn't mean that you have it all together. It's the whole idea of believing that you will be able to do or get to whatever you want to do. That maybe you might not be feeling confident right now, but you're working on it, and eventually you will get there. It's the whole idea that even confident people, they make mistakes. They're not sure as to what they want to do or they don't want to do. It's the whole idea of feeling that, yes, I might not be ready now, I might not feel 100% sure about this, but I'm doing it. I'm taking the necessary steps to move into whatever goal I have set for myself or for my art or for my studio. But I don't want you to think that you have to be perfect to be confident. Perfection and confidence is not the same. It is not the same. So you can gain confidence without being perfect.
Right. And I think again, also since we're talking about misconceptions, and our goal with this program is to help us kind of reframe maybe this idea, of confidence and how beneficial it is for us to build upon it, right? Because we can always build more confidence. And in the previous video, I talked about confidence versus arrogance, right? And I say we all know an arrogant person or an arrogant artist. You don't want to be that person.
And I just wanted to add, arrogance is not confidence.
Exactly.
Sometimes being an arrogant person has to do with your insecurities and those triggers and those wounds that you have, and you don't want to show those to the world, and therefore you pretend or you put that mask on to protect yourself from possible questions, from possible triggers. That understand that arrogance is definitely not self-confidence.
And also another misconception is that self-confidence is always being happy, right? Of always feeling great, like, that's such a confident artist, it's always happy and always excited. But that's not it.
No, it's not. It's just a mindset. It's a mindset or a belief that you can do whatever you want to do or you set yourself to do. Maybe you are not ready now, but you have made that decision to get better. It's making a decision. It's saying, you know what? this is what I want to do. This is what I want for my art career, for my artwork. This is what I want for myself. Therefore, I'm going to start making the necessary steps to get there. And understand that a lot of hurdles might happen, a lot of things might not be what you expect it to be, but you have made that choice to take action, and you want to go from point A to point B, whatever that point A and that point B is.
Yeah, I love that, because confidence invites us to take action, and we don't always know exactly which direction should I go, A, B, or C,
right.
And it happens to us in the studio, we are in front of a empty canvas. Should I start with red or green or blue? Or should I start with lines or shapes? Where do I start? There are thousands, millions of possibilities, but at some point you trust in yourself as the artist to get started, to put the first mark, right? You don't think about that canvas, for 20 years, but rather, ideally, very quickly, you're like, okay, I'm going to start with blue, and boom, here we go. Yeah. And we understand confidence from that point of view inside the studio, but how difficult it is sometimes to bring that into our practice outside of the studio to the moment you have to do an Instagram reel, for example, the moment that you need to call a gallery or email a gallery or follow up with that collector, or that's where sometimes we forget what we learn in the studio about confidence in our art approach of the art making process, and applying it to ourselves. Yeah.
Well, you have entered a very deep topic with
very dark topic, or deep topic.
Very deep, and there's so much to say about it, and we don't have the time to go over that. I mean, I can do a whole retreat on that.
but give us a little bit of that entry point.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the things, especially when you're doing reels, when you are going to talk to an gallery owner or a collector, there's a couple of things that I want to say about that. Oftentimes we have these misconceptions, or we have all these assumptions. So if I create a reel, then people are going to make fun of me. If I call an art gallery, they will probably hang up on me, and maybe they will. They will hang up on you. But the whole idea of you need to give yourself permission to try things. And as you try things, you will decide whether or not that whatever that you have tried, that strategy is effective or not. It's not seeing things as a failure or disappointment. It's just to see the actions that you take that will lead you to a confident artist. Those actions have a reaction, right, or a consequence, and start seeing those consequences that don't go as good as you want them to be as a learning experience. Again, it goes back to rewiring your mindset, seeing things differently. When things don't go the way you want to, it's not because you're not a confident person, but rather maybe that strategy that you used was not the best one. So it's just starting to see things, instead of labeling them as failure, start labeling them as a learning opportunity that will make you more confident, because confidence comes with experience, with knowledge, and believing that you can do it, believing in your art, and believing in your art career, believing in your business, believing that you can, that you're making this art for a reason, right? You have intentionality, you have a narrative that you want, you have a message that you want to portray through your art. So it's almost going back as to figuring it out, the rationale behind, or not even the rationale, the intentionality rather, behind your art, and what kind of message you're trying to convey. And once you're clear about that, it will be easier. And understanding that sometimes we need to learn more about things, whether it's the skills, whether it's the marketing strategies, whether it's how to interact with other people. There's different things, different routes that you can take, but at the end of the day is you being clear about your point A and your point B, and finding strategies to get there.
That reminds me a lot of, for example, inside the Next Level program, we do a lot of challenges, right? From your studio to the world challenge, which is all about exposure, the art sales challenge at the end of the year. So to give an example, at the end of the year, the Art Sales Challenge, where artists come to our program to try to sell more art at the end of the year. When a lot of people are buying because of holidays and Christmas and gifts and that, so people are more likely to pull their wallets and pay, for art. So, artists who come in and they take that step, right? That's the first step to say, I want to try it out. And then they come and like you said, they learn the strategies, they learn about the ultimate marketing calendar that we have created. They work with other artists inside of the program. And so they do it one time and like, oh, wow, for many of them becomes like an eye-opener. Like, I didn't know I could do this. We have artists who have been in the news, for example, because of it. We have other artists who have been published, who have sold out their collections, many stories of success because of that. And it starts with, as you mentioned, that intentionality, right? Wanting to say, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to do it. You have the strategy, so it's not just doing something for doing something, but rather, having a plan that you can follow through, and then that can help you then run through that one time. And like you mentioned, you look back, you say, okay, what did I learn? How can I improve? How can I get better? And that builds confidence. Every time you try something and you make it better, you have better confidence.
Right. And it's interesting that confidence even comes from you making mistakes.
Oh, yeah. That
and being able to solve or tweak or figure it out.
Yes.
Then you will gain more confidence because you were able to figure it out. But at the same time, confidence will come with wisdom, right? That you try something and it's not working, and you are smart enough to not repeat it.
Yeah.
The same way.
Ideally, right?
Ideally. So, and then you're like, okay, this didn't work out. Oh, wow, I learned that this is not going to work out, and it doesn't matter how many times I repeat the same thing, you're going to get the same results. Therefore, I'm not going to even bother. I'm going to change my strategy. I'm going to maybe educate myself, go through trainings, learn from the situation. And as you learn from the situation, you gain confidence. So it goes back to how you see things and your mindset. Because if you see things as going back to failure, going back to no one is going to pay attention to my art, no one's going to pay attention to me. If you put that in your head, those are the results you're going to have. But if you are like, you know what, I tried this and it didn't work out, you learn. When you learn things, that usually uplift your spirit, right? When you learn something versus when you label the situation as a failure, then you feel down. So when you and all those negative emotions are going to populate your inner self because you label it as a failure. But when you label it as a learning experience, then your inner self is going to be populated with more optimistic terminology, because there's not a negative terminology that I can think of right now that is associated with learning. You always think when you learn something, you feel more confident. You know what you know what you're doing, or you know what you're saying, and you keep growing and growing and growing. So labeling circumstances is very, very important when you are working on your confidence, to always label things that don't go your way as a learning experience.
I love that. And I think at the end of the day, the road to confidence is a journey.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's why the subtitle of our book is The Artist Wellness Journey to Confidence and Success, right? Confidence, success follows confidence.
For sure.
And, I think when we were thinking about the title for this book and the subtitle, we're like, they have to go together, because confidence is such an important part of this journey, right? The journey towards greater and greater confidence. And it always, I find it so interesting for you as a psychologist working with us artists, in our programs, in our podcasts, and particularly inside the Art Next Level program, and with your coaching, also your one-on-one sessions, which now we have, the coaching versus also the consulting, and the consulting is like more of a one shot, one quick fix, right? Let me help you with this or
with
that.
A strategy or a couple of strategies to to
get
keep
you
going,
going,
get
right?
you going. Yes.
To get you the batteries to keep going.
Yes.
But with the coaching, which is a 3 sessions process, you get to work with the artist one-on-one. There's accountability, helping them identify your mindset blocks.
And adjusting, changing, tweaking, replacing toxic habits or
with new ones.
With
exactly.
new ones, right.
And that is, you being involved in the artist's journey, almost hands-on. And I love it, when I see an artist that you're working with and, comes in with a lot of problems or circumstances where they cannot see the exit.
They get stuck.
You get stuck, and you always say to me, like, I want to help artists get unstuck.
Emotionally unstuck, yes.
Exactly,
yes.
Emotionally unstuck. And it's incredible how then that artist can come back, a few weeks or a few months later and send us an email that says, I tried that, I changed my mindset, and oh my goodness, now opportunities are coming. Or
now out of the blue, I see the opportunities, right?
Yes, but a lot of times, the opportunity gap is in our confidence, is in our willingness to rewire our mind,
and
work with our mindset.
And take risks.
And take risks.
So that's another issue that we can talk about for a long time. Maybe at a different episode.
Yes, that could be a good one. Taking risks.
Yes.
Risks taking as an artist. But I love that journey. I love that transformation, right? And how it reminds me of how powerful it is for a mind, where it's the same artist, it's exactly the same circumstances. The only thing that changed from 3 months now to 3 months later is the way you see it, the way you approach it, and the way you go about it.
And the way you label the circumstances.
And the way you label it, So labeling it is very important.
Oh, it is indeed very, very important because it goes back to labels, words. It's the power of words. And the way you label things will open the door to positivity and optimism or doom.
Or doom.
Feeling all,
doom and failure, exactly.
Because, the end of the world kind of way of thinking. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I want to wrap up our conversation.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. for joining us. If you haven't got your own book of Crush Your Sabotage, Live Fully, The Artist's Wellness Journey to Confidence and Success, please do. I'm going to put a link in the description of this podcast, so you can check it out, get it from Amazon. You can get it as a hard copy, which we recommend it as a hard copy because that way you can highlight things, and every chapter has sections where you can write answers as you work through the different aspects here. We believe 100% that after you read this book, you will be a different artist. You will have more confidence. You will have a different mindset also.
Different approach to your career and your art and yourself.
Exactly.
Life,
And if you want to work with Dr. Yanina through her one-on-one sessions, all you got to do is visit her website at theartistnextlevel.com, click on one-on-ones, and there she explains the difference between the coaching and the consulting, so you can pick which one is best for you. If this is an area where you're struggling with, where you're finding yourself kind of falling in the same patterns,
and feeling stuck.
You're feeling stuck in some way or form mentally, emotionally. We are here. Well, she is here. I'm just pushing. I'm just giving her the space where she can help us out. And I can tell you, as an artist myself, she has helped me tremendously, with what I do. Big part of my success is, because, I get to live with you.
He's trying to get some points.
Share life with you. But I think that's always, really a blessing for my own life, for my own career, to be able to learn from you, to also apply, what you're teaching, which we share a lot of that in this book as well. So check that out. And if you want to get to know Dr. Yanina even more inside the Next Level program, in our coaching program, that's where she also participates with live Q&A sessions once a month. She's active.
I go live and I answer all your wellness questions.
So you can ask her anything you want there for our members who are part of the program. And you can also find all the information at theartistnextlevel.com. If you want to join us throughout the month of July, depends where you're watching this video. We are exploring what we're calling the Confident Artist Toolbox.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to that.
Exactly, and all those sessions are recorded, so even if you come to the program in September, October, or next year, doesn't matter, whenever you're watching this video, those sessions are recorded, so you can see what Dr. Yanina had to say about that as well.
Yes, and in that month I'm going to be covering figuring it out, the essence of your art,
Ooh,
the uniqueness of your art.
Very good.
So
if you want to find out your uniqueness, kind of watch that
your
video.
art's uniqueness.
Your art's
Yeah, yeah.
uniqueness. Excellent. Well, thank you, Dr. Yanina.
Thank you for
my
having
friends,
me.
for watching, for listening in the podcast. Do us a big favor. If you could, I know many of you guys have listened to the podcast many times. You are subscribed, but you have never shared or you have never gone to give us a review.
We have artists that will do such a thing.
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Tell them.
No,
use your magic of words.
Share the love.
Share the love, share with others, because I think, the more we can help artists, the better. We always say that when one of us wins as an artist, we all win. But wait, before you leave this video, if you are an artist who wants to grow your art career and wants to achieve greater success, make sure you check out the Art Next Level program. You will find a link under this video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the next video that we have recommended just for you.